today's job market, at least part of your job search will be done online, and you will probably submit your resume to at least one online application. In these cases, the hiring organization is probably working with Applicant Tracking Software, ATS for short. From the hiring organization's perspective, using an ATS makes a lot of sense, whether it's 250 applicants for the job or the average of roughly 150 people for each entry-level position and almost 100 for each professional level position. There's a lot of resumes to go through. Some large organizations, such as Google, receive up to 75,000 applications in 1 week. To the hiring organization, most of these applications are basically spam. It's not like those 250 applicants or those 75,000 applications all represent qualified candidates. No, most of them do not. In fact, to the hiring organization, the majority of applications sent in represent noise. It would be a waste of time to review these resumes. You, of course, are going to avoid this problem because you're going to make sure your resume is targeted to the position, and you're going to make sure you have strong evidence of your competencies because you're going to make sure you genuinely want the job and are confident you can do the job, right? But what about all those other applications? Hiring organizations are more than happy to take advantage of a friendly robot, and ATS relieves them of much of the burden of screening all those applications. Think of it as a resume spam filter. And ATS helps you as well because it makes it possible for you to submit your applications online. These systems analyze resumes and rank them according to the probability that the candidate will be able to help the organization. By weeding out the resumes of candidates who are not qualified, these friendly ATS robots make the hiring process that much more efficient. So it's not surprising to find that almost all large organizations, including up to 95% of the Fortune 500 companies, use an ATS. About half of all mid-size organizations use one. This means you need to adopt strategies to make your resumes robot-friendly. You've already learned to identify competencies. You've learned to ensure your target position matches the job description. You've learned the importance of mirroring language for competencies that the hiring manager is looking for. You'll learn more about how to do this most effectively in the next module. But for now, let's break down how an ATS works. You submit your resume online. We're assuming it goes into the organization's ATS. The ATS first parses your resume. The parser uses language processing algorithms to identify the text in your resume and break it into strings that can be machine analyzed. Spreadsheets, graphs, tables, and other eye candy elements that are in vogue in some circles today are either ignored or they just confuse the recruiting software. Assuming the friendly robot navigates through your resume and finds the text that describes the wonderful you, the ATS outputs a series of strings that includes information about your education, your contact information, your skills, and your experience. These strings are run against a list of keywords that the software is configured to scan for. These are keywords that most likely describe a strong candidate for the position. They typically refer to competencies or synonyms of competencies. They might be phrases someone with a particular competency is likely to use. They reflect the criteria set up by the organization's recruiting department. Based on this scan, your resume is given a relevancy score. The higher the score, the more likely you are to get called in for an interview. So that's what your friendly robot is doing. Clearly, you want to choose keywords that best match the job description. The skills and requirements outlined in the ad for the position will include specific words or terms that describe the opportunity. You've already learned to identify these in related language in an earlier lesson. In the next module, you'll learn about writing a keyword-rich summary. This is a further strategy that you'll use to make sure your resume is ATS friendly. You can also use the summary to write variations of keywords that improve the appeal of your resume to those hard-working robots. As a side benefit, keyword optimization also serves to attract the crawlers that organizations send out to scan resumes on sites like Indeed, LinkedIn, and Career Builder. And remember, when it comes to negotiating a job offer, you're always in a stronger position when the hiring organization calls you first.